Happy Monday, everybody. Now, welcome to this amazing episode of Around the Loop. Now, you may be wondering, Jill, your voice sounds a little extra crisp, a little clear, right? Well, that's right. Now, shout out to my love bug for upgrading the mics. Once again, she's made it happen, and she is the reason why this podcast continues to grow. So, now introducing the DJI Mic 3s. Putting you guys on game. This is what I'm using right now, and it is a phenomenal product. It truly is. So I hope you guys are doing good. I know today's episode is a little different. I usually drop an interview, but I didn't make no announcement, so it wouldn't be fair just to drop one on you guys, right? But instead, I'm gonna mix it up this week. Today, I'm doing more of a solo episode, getting you guys prepped for what's in store. And just recently, y'all, um, shout out to the El Gato, studios and the team, Raul, Repollo, Chill Guy, Bones, Tito, the whole crew that was part of it. Um, you guys are phenomenal people. It was a phenomenal time coming out there, moving and grooving on a Saturday morning. It was dope. It was dope coming out, checking out all the players, seeing that there was more of a media team than there was last time. The presence of a massive team. You got multiple people on the field. You had multiple people, multiple angles. Best part was I was co-hosting, so I was given the opportunity to co-host, and it was cool. There was no script, y'all. I didn't write no script on how I was going to interview these players. No, they just came straight from the heart, from the soul, and from the mind, and it was great. Shout out to all the players that were there. Everybody tried their best. Got to meet a lot of folks, and shout out to my big dudes too that were out there. Them guys were moving, and I'm talking about moving. Now you got a picture, you got a 265-pound man, almost 300 pounds, coming at you at full force. You better move the fuck away, or he's gonna move you, and that's just how it goes. But it was a great opportunity. Like I said, met a lot of people, met a lot of new faces, and new guests for the show. So 2026 is gonna come with a bunch of opportunities. But you guys know, last year I ended the podcast season with Clint from Double Tap Live, and phenomenal man. Honestly, big, super proud of him of how far he's came. It's been great, and shout out to Clint. But as you guys know, I wrapped up the year with a special episode with Tito and Balance. Now I'm doing that again this year, once again, to wrap up season two. Now you maybe you're like, wow, season two is already coming to an end. Yeah, that's right, y'all. Season two. So I do have some episodes that I am gonna be releasing that are part of season two. January comes along, we have some new episodes coming out, some from season two that are coming out for season three. I gotta, can't just dump everything in one day. Can't do that for you guys. But there's gonna be a lot of new faces, a lot of new people, and a lot more traveling. And as I progress in this podcast and find the opportunities to network, to make an income out of this, because at the end of the day, this is my full-time job. Ever since not, leaving the construction world, uh, it's been a big change in my life. I've had to learn how to adapt over it. It's been a little wild. Nothing crazy that this man can't handle, but it's been wild. And it's been a true blessing, honestly. It's been a reality check for me. I've learned a lot of things from it. It's a humbling experience. But for a man that has a purpose, that always wants to seek self-improvement, seeking purpose, it's almost hard to fulfill those roles sometimes. It's almost hard to like be satisfied with yourself. So you're always trying to look for something more. Like there's always something more out there, and there is. And it's been a true blessing. Like I said, wow. So got to do the football thing. I got to let's talk about a little bit about Christmas. I got to spend this. I think this year Christmas was one of my favorites, and every year is different. It truly is, and this year was a little different, but I liked it. It was great. Couldn't complain. You know, seeing my love bug being that magical auntie, hits a childhood core. It reminds me of my uncle at the time when we were kids, and he'd bring gifts and toys and shit. Like, growing up, we didn't have the money like that. We were, my parents, made ends meet, but it wasn't like we had the newest and group. No, but it was what we could have, and it just reminded me of a core memory of being that child and seeing the gifts. It's nice, and it's nice. And I know budgeting is hard nowadays. I get it. I'm an adult now. I do understand. But miracles still happen. I still manage to pull gifts out of my ass. Shout out to Santa Claus, and it's been great. I can't complain. But there's been a lot of new music out. Shout out to Balance for dropping some new music. Shout out to Jacob John. He just dropped a new album. Come on, tap in. Also, Kelkin has been dropping some songs left and right. Come on, you can't miss on him. And I've shot some music videos, I've shot some videos, and there's so much coming out. And media is only gonna get better, y'all. The media is only gonna level up as we progress throughout the year. So stay tuned for more. But things I do want to talk about, goals that I have for 2026. So goals I have. I'm gonna start going down the line on Instagram and unfollowing a lot of folks that don't really support me, that are just there for the trend. And it's very easy to go and check. I mean, I don't mind going through 1,200 people and figuring out who I should actually follow. Because at the end of the day, this is a business page. And I built a lot of my connections with a follow for a follow. So it's been nice. But I've also noticed there's a lot of people there that are just there to see. What's even crazier is when I go to my stories and I check the analytics. I'll be having maybe 35, 40 people, 60 people, view my story, but then I'll check again over the analytics and there'll be like 35, 40 people that don't follow the page but follow my stories. It's interesting, it is. And I want to say shout out to Dr. Dabber. Dr. Dabber believed in the podcast, so thank you, Dr. Dabber, for hooking up the podcast with the Ghost 2. The Ghost 2 has been one of my favorite devices ever. On the go, pocket rocket, ready to go. Like, I love it. There's a couple different heat temperatures, so depending on what you're smoking, you can elevate the experience. 3 heat modes as far as like ascend, descend, and stay, neutral. I like that because it's different. And ceramic top, I love it because it really brings out the flavor. And I mean, no disrespect on Puffco. I love my Puffco too. Don't get me wrong. My OG proxy, still holding it down. I use her once in a blue moon, but not as much as I'm using the Dr. Dabber. Quote says a dab away keeps the doctor away, right? Wrong. A dab a day supports a doctor a day. That's right. That's what I'm talking about. Support Dr. Dabber. Support Around the Loop podcast. Use code word ATLP at checkout. Get yourself a little something. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Dr. Dabber, honestly, for going out of their way, him and his team went out of their way to support some of my local followers. Some of my followers that follow the podcast, y'all. They even send a little care package to a couple individuals. You know how awesome that is? Like, it's cool because if I can do it, they can do it. Anybody can do it. And that's a blessing. But it is a blessing to be able to do that. And Puffco, I hope 2026 you're supporting more folks. I hope your community is more stronger out there with the support, because you got thousands of people pouring out, pouring the little hearts out. There is. And I've seen the content. I myself was making content for you guys. Endless amount of content. Tagging you guys on free advertisement. But this is a business. And I can't prosper and grow on a platform of free goodies. I can't. So this year, as it's coming to an end, 2026 is coming up, or 2025, 2026. We're coming. And by we, I mean me. So this new season, for season 3, y'all, I'm going to be posting more clips now. There'll be more clips of podcast episode clips. I'll be posting now on social media. I'll do my very best to stay on top of that. Episodes are still going to remain the same. Solo episode on Fridays, interviews Mondays. Occasionally, I'll be throwing in a bonus episode here and there, so stay tuned for that. As far as platform-wise, still going to be on TikTok, still going to be on Instagram, iHeartRadio, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, you name it, I'm on there. Remember, Around the Loop podcast. with the skull with the mic. You know that's me. You know it's right. And it was great. Honestly, even got to meet up with a friend of mine that I randomly met online. It was just a random follow one day. And, it's crazy that a random follow leads to a future of opportunities, a future of friendships. So shout out to my homie. We met today, top secret, destination unknown type shit. And we were even going to shoot a little mini episode because season 3 coming up, I'm going to be doing a separate segment with the homie here where we co-host a couple episodes. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to have, different segments. And something that I want to try to tap in is back into the Junior Reach segment that I started. I only did it with Patrick Freeman. And shout out to the homie Patrick. If you're hearing this, man, I want to give you your flowers. And you deserve it. You deserve it to be heard on radio and on this podcast. This man works super duper hard. How many people do you know that can sell 3 cars a day? 3 to 4 cars a day. This man is hustling. And if you need a new vehicle, go head over to CarMax in Oceanside, right across from Tri-City Hospital, and ask for Patrick. Let him know that ATLP sent you, that the podcast sent you, and he will set you right. But specifically ask for Patrick because there's no better salesman out there than Patrick Freeman. So thank you so much. And like I said, you guys, thank you guys for supporting the podcast. Now that I take this time to reflect, it's great. I met so many people, so many artists. Knowing that I'm leaving my mark with each individual person has been a phenomenal experience. It really has. It's something I wouldn't change for the world. I would have never imagined being behind mic, being in front of a camera, yo. For a dude that's awkward with eye contact, like, it's something I work on. I wasn't really a big social person. I'm very selective when it comes to who I really want to interact with, who I give my time and energy with. Because I used to give it just out to anybody, and it's messed me up in the past. It really has. And talking about the past, man, hey, the past is the past, and it's time to grow the future. Leave that shit back there and move forward. Sometimes I'd be lingering on the past, wondering how I could have done things differently. But that needs to stop. That needs to stop because what I can do and what I can't. So what I can't control is what happened in the past no more. I can't fix that. I can't go back and change it. And even if I could, it is what it is. The Lord wouldn't put things in my way I couldn't handle. Facts. But what I can do and what I do have control is of the future and how I can make a difference, how I can change, how I can help and elevate the next person, individual, generation. I want to leave my legacy behind is a man with a cowboy hat that went out of his way to help one another grow. Because at the end of the day, if you grow, I grow. And that's just it. I've seen a lot of folks have a lot of friends, and I've seen a lot of folks left without any friends. And it's a sad thing. But I'm that friend that'll always be there. And all you got to do is pick up your phone. If you got my number, give me a call, shoot me a text. You don't got my number, hit me up on Instagram. It's that simple over a DM. I even have Facebook, y'all. It's that simple. I don't use Facebook, but shoot, hit me up on there. Ain't no worries. And yeah, so like I said, y'all, it's I couldn't have done this without you. And knowing that this is the very first episode with some clean audio, like this is nice. And I'm gonna be doing a commercial soon, y'all. That's right. I'm gonna be working with Tito. So you guys, shop by Tito. Hit up Tito for any future media work that you want to do. Very professional young man. I got nothing but great things to say about him. So if you ever need me to vouch and you got questions about his work, feel free to reach out. And, if he's not available, feel free to reach out to me too. Shoot, I can make it happen too. And like I said, I work with everybody's budgets. Whether it's you got $50 to $500, we can make something happen. But what I want to do is make sure that you get the most out of your money, you get what you deserve. And it's kind of like the old mechanic trick, the old mechanic. A lot of people are afraid to go to mechanics because, you think you're going to get gypped. Same thing with videographers and photographers. A lot of people are afraid to reach out because they're afraid they're going to get gypped. A lot of people reach out because they don't believe in paying three, 200, $400 for photos, videos, whatever the case is. Letting you guys know it takes a lot of work to put it into a music video. I've had the opportunity to make a couple, and it is a lot of work. From somebody that has zero experience on making music videos, it is a lot of work. And from somebody with zero experience in media production, from where I'm at now, like, shoot, I'd be high fiving myself too. Maybe in 2026, we're gonna get a ATLP song. I don't know. Maybe I'll rap for you guys. I don't know. That's been in the back of my mind. I might need to drop a song with somebody. Who knows? Just just for the one time, type shit. But this new year, new opportunities. We're gonna be linking up with Sessions by the Bay, doing some work with Wellgreens, doing some work with Off the Charts, y'all. Gotta support your local dispensaries, support your local brands. Farmers Cup too. Shout out to Farmers Cup because they're having the Harvest Cup coming up at the end of January, y'all. You don't want to miss out on the Harvest Cup. It's a phenomenal opportunity to meet so many people, so many brands. I loved it when I went to the 710s award. Like that was great. Met a lot of new people. Even met some artists. I saw Bishop Snow was there. That was just a random pop up. Bishop Snow was there, and so was Rico Too Smooth with his Costa de Flor. Like, come on, y'all. We got celebrities down here. Like, it's awesome. Being in the presence of everybody, it was a great opportunity. And if you guys haven't had your opportunity to make it to the Farmers 710, well, come on over to the Farmers Cup Harvest Cup. And yeah, you heard it here on Around the Loop podcast. So get your ticket, check it out, let them know what's up. And for my folks out there, you know, my whole mission, my whole purpose was to show you guys that anything is possible if you put your heart, mind, and soul into it. Anything is achievable. With this year throwing so many obstacles my way, so many obstacles, y'all. A lot of things that I didn't discuss on mic. And there's some things that I won't. And let me just tell you guys a little bit, just a little sneak peek. The things that I had to experience in life would break a lot of people. Make them quit, make them, you know, it's crazy. But you got to keep your head up, stay true to the Lord, and the Lord will guide you and will take care of you. It's just how it is. And if you don't believe in it, hey, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. No worries. But like I said, it's me, my faith with the Lord, and prayer a day makes a difference. So I hope you guys are ready for this season 3. New audience, more clips. Try to be more active on social media, more than I ever was. And who knows, y'all? Maybe I'll have an ATLP, around the loop production, where it's not even around the loop podcast no more. It's just around the loop production, where it's from podcast to short films to documentaries to photography to everything. Who knows what the season's gonna bring? But what I know, what I can bring is that energy, the will, the motivation. Like, it's time, y'all. So thank you guys for tuning in. 2 seasons already. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy because just a year ago I was wrapping up season 1. I started season 2 in January and started season 3 in January. Now it's gonna be my start of my 3rd year of podcasting. Like, I wrapped up almost 2 years already. Almost. And it's wild because I started season 1 back in March. So from March to December, that was season 1. From December to December, season 2. And then season 3 from, January to December. Like, so almost 2 years of full podcasting. And I wouldn't change it for the world, y'all. I recommend you find something you like. You never know what talent you got. You never know who you're going to inspire, who's going to hear this podcast, who's tapping in, who's tuning in from all over the world. It's crazy to watch the analytics and see members of the UK, members of Mexico, members of Canada, members of Brazil, Guam. I've had folks from Guam. I've had folks from Thailand. I've had folks from Vietnam, China, Japan, Russia, Germany, Scotland, Ireland, India. Yo, where has this podcast haven't been yet? I've been everywhere. And that's thanks to you guys for making it happen. Make sure you guys share this podcast with your loved ones, share it with your friends, because you never know what inspiration. You never know. Maybe one day I'm gonna be able to pull you out of a sick one, of a bad time. You never know the impact you have on others. And reflecting back on season 2, I've had a lot of crazy people on my show. I mean, one of the biggest people I've had on the show was J Rod, J Rod Electric. And now look at him with over 168,000 followers. When I first met him, the young man had over 22,000 followers. 22. And now 168,000. Now he has his own media manager and he has his own podcast. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, J Rod. And keep it up. Keep it up. Because, letting you guys know, like, I've had legendary people on here. I had, for example, um, let's see. I had the homie Seabass. So Seabass is a comedian that traveled from California all the way to New York on a BMX bike. And he even had the opportunity to show up on the Kill Tony comedy show in Texas. He made it right on the nick of time, was able to perform, came out. Knowing that I had him on the podcast too, it was an honor. I've had multiple people, I've had folks that traveled from out of state to come to the podcast too, which was great. I had a young lady from Arizona come out, and that was great. I got to be on somebody else's podcast, which was really nice. Told some wild ass stories. So tap in with that. Let's see. And now 2026, I'm gonna be co-hosting. I'm gonna be doing a lot more. So thank you guys. Like I said, I couldn't have done this without you. So tune in on Around the Loop podcast on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Make sure you follow Around the Loop podcast. Follow, like, subscribe, all the above. And it's very easy to just share it with your friends. It's very easy. If you can like my video, share it with your friend. It don't cost a nickel or a dime. It's free of your time. I'm already getting ready to wrap for y'all. So, anyways, thank you guys. Have a happy Monday. Thank you for tapping in on Solo Dolo episode number, I don't know, 28, I believe. But thank you guys.